Hillary Clinton has a schizophrenic relationship with conspiracy theories. On the one hand, she dismisses nearly every legitimate scandal that plagues her as a conspiracy theory. Leaked emails show a rigged primary and collusion within the DNC?
Again, I don't know anything about these emails. I haven't followed it.
Nothing to see here, just us not knowing anything, but immediately hiring the woman responsible for the controversy to run our campaign. Hillary compromised the security of confidential intelligence by storing it on a private email server?
We looked through everything. We gave them everything work-related. In fact, we gave them so much, they've already told us they're sending back 1,200 because they were clearly personal and not work-related.
Can you respond to an alternative explanation that has sort of
another conspiracy theory?
Let me
Just another conspiracy theory perpetuated by a months-long investigation by that loony FBI.
There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
Hillary looks unwell?
I don't know why they are saying this. I think on the one hand, it's part of the wacky strategy. Just say all these crazy things and maybe you can get some people to believe you. On the other hand, it just absolutely makes no sense.
You did get it.
Never mind the fainting and seizures, you kooks. Even that Meet the Press interview with Chuck Todd is prefaced with a disclaimer.
Hillary Clinton, Madam Secretary, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And a reminder, and I know there's all conspiracy theories out there are no limitations to this to this interview.
As far as I know,
exactly,
that's true.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Guys, this is not a conspiracy. Just so we're clear, not a conspiracy. And even that might not have been true. One of the highlights of the DNC leaks was evidence of collusion between the DNC and media outlets. Seemingly every major concern voters have with Hillary started off as just some wacky conspiracy theory until becoming fully substantiated. But while Hillary is quick to dismiss her critics as crazy conspiracy theorists, she is also curiously quick to perpetuate conspiracy theories of her own. The DNC leak is about the Russians trying to help Trump.
The Russians are releasing these emails for the purpose of actually helping Donald Trump.
Vladimir Putin is the great godfather of the alt-right and plans racist world domination with Donald Trump as his apprentice.
And this is part of a broader story. The rising tide of hardline right-wing nationalism around the world. And the grand godfather of this global brand of extreme nationalism is Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And now her absolute craziest yet. And yes, this is actually from Hillary's official campaign website. Donald Trump, Pepe the Frog, and white supremacists, an explainer. That cartoon frog is more sinister than you might realize. This is an official, formal campaign page explaining why you, the voter, need not worry about corruption, you need not worry about collusion, you need not worry about illness, nor any of the efforts to cover all of those things up. You need to be wary of a racist, oddly drawn cartoon frog. And there is actual reasoning offered here. We'll get to that momentarily. But first, let's review the context of how this page came to be. Last week, in between the near-death experiences of her coughing fit and her spot-on impression of a Cosby victim, Hillary had time to articulate her disdain for Trump supporters. Or at least half of Trump supporters.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. They're racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
That was Hillary speaking at a private fundraising event on Friday night, and it's easy to think a comment like that might just be an off-the-cuff remark, not precisely phrased, and maybe not exactly what the candidate means. Not so in this case. Hillary was reading off a teleprompter. That comment was written and reviewed previously, and it was the second time that week she offered the quote, phrasing it nearly identically in an interview with Israel's Channel 2.
If I were to be grossly generalistic, I'd say you can take Trump supporters and put them in two big baskets. There are what I call the deplorables, the racists and the haters.
Her words were specifically chosen, and given the opportunity later, Hillary opted not to apologize. She said only that her estimation of half may be too many, and that she may have generalized, which is no apology. It's a reiteration of what she said in her original quotes.
To just be grossly generalistic.
If I were to be grossly generalistic,
Now, if you're called a deplorable by someone on the Hilarian level of unlikability, that's a badge of honor. So merch was printed, hashtags trended, and of course, memes were born. One such meme was published on Instagram by Donald J. Trump Jr., showing himself with other conservative figures in the style of the Expendables, one of the figures being a Trumpified Pepe the Frog, the expressive internet meme who has blossomed from unknown comic strip character to 4chan hero. Make 5 random clicks on the internet these days, chances are you'll see a Pepe before you're done, but according to Hillary, it's the rallying symbol of white supremacism. I was going to say Hillary has never been on the internet before, but that was before I saw the video proof otherwise.
No scoping some weak-ass noobs across the map. What's Trump's KD ratio? He hasn't even shared his gamer tag.
So now that we understand the how of Hillary's concern with Pepe, let's examine the why. Let's hear the Hillary campaign's reasoning for why we need to be vigilant against amphibian symbols of hatred. Understanding, of course, that it's actually Hillary's opponents who dive way too deeply into conspiracy theories. Why is there a frog standing directly behind Trump? That's Pepe. He's a symbol associated with white supremacy. Wait, really? White supremacy? That's right. Please explain. Here's the short version. Pepe is a cartoon frog who began his internet life as an innocent meme enjoyed by teenagers and pop stars alike. But in recent months, Pepe's been almost entirely co-opted by the white supremacists who call themselves the quote alt-right. They've decided to take back Pepe by adding swastikas and other symbols of anti-Semitism and white supremacy. We basically mixed Pepe with the Nazi propaganda, etc. We built that association, one prominent white supremacist told the Daily Beast. One prominent white supremacist. One. Now, we could address this absurd argument on its reasoning alone, and we'll do that in a moment. But what about the facts? So who is this prominent white supremacist? Hillary links to a Daily Beast article showing the quote originates from @JaredTSwift on Twitter. You know, that Jewish guy on Twitter who describes his account as parody and who is now laughing at how he tricked journalists and the Hillary campaign alike into believing he's a sincere white supremacist who expresses himself through a cartoon frog. So Hillary's argument rests primarily on what one white supremacist says, and it turns out that white supremacist isn't even white supremacist. He's just an internet troll. But let's assume Hillary's prominent white supremacist was actually prominent and was actually a white supremacist. The argument is still garbage. If somebody bad likes something, then anyone who also likes that thing is bad by association. Or more precisely, if somebody bad likes a symbol, then anyone who likes that symbol is also bad. I'm sure Charles Manson once pledged allegiance to the flag doesn't mean the US flag symbolizes serial murder. In a more practical example, ISIS has co-opted many Islamic symbols, but the Clinton campaign still insists not all Muslims. Can't blame Islam for ISIS. Yeah, well, not all Pepes, you damn Pepe-phobe. Pepe is a meme of peace. Besides, Pepe isn't even the most racist cartoon frog I've seen.
Excuse me, do you know how to get to town?
Yeah, it's back the way you came.
Knowing the regressive left, my guess is they'd rather double down and claim that both Kermit and Pepe are racist symbols, rather than concede that racism and cartoon frogs are about as close as Bill and Hillary. They sometimes get together for convenience, but that's about the extent of the relationship. Whoever is guiding Hillary's strategy presently, maybe it's the candidate herself, maybe it's an advisor, maybe it's her body double, whoever it is amazing me with incompetence. In early August, before her alt-right speech, Hillary had a wide lead in aggregated polling. If that's the case, play it safe, emphasize your strengths, coast to victory. Grasping at straws, or grasping at frogs, is a desperation move you make to shake up the numbers, not maintain the status quo. Between pushing conspiracy theories and not being forthright about her emails, her health, and other issues, the polls are tightening each day, and what's even more puzzling is that's not difficult to predict. If you previewed this anti-frog strategy to anyone who has ever been on the internet before, that person would tell you, that's dumb, that won't work, Don't do that. People like jokes. People like quirkiness. People like mischief. People like dank memes. Hilariously, Pepe's rise in prominence correlates directly with a drop in Hillary's favorability. He's never been more popular in search interest. She's never been more disliked. And in response to those numbers, Hillary's current strategy is this. People don't like me, so I'll start attacking things they do like. And apparently, someone is advising that approach. If you see something rise while you fall, it's wise to wonder why. Why do people like this and not that? How can I emulate what makes that thing likable? What can I do to adapt? It's a wiser strategy than digging in your heels and calling your opposition racist. And it's wiser still when you ask someone with a pulse. And I don't care if you're joking or not, that someone is not Hillary Clinton.
Make sure I'm alive.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. If only someone had the guts to say that at Hillary's campaign strategy meeting. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below and especially over on Twitter. That is at Matt C on YT. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.